I'm doing this video because I don't have time to write. We have a time factor, and also for the reality of what we said. I think this will be much better. I'm the daughter of Vijayan Powermani. I have sent my profile, and my father, when he passed away, I was working, and I also joined the Jesus Calls. So, as per the trust deed, the next of kin is owner. My mother, he said in the car she is going to take over from him. That's what he said. But he also said that the person who is witness on paper is Sergeant George. As per the trust deed, I have seen both the trustees, and the person who is working for her, he is only witness. As per law, witness doesn't have any rights. We have 4 daughters, so actually we were technically supposed to work there and help my mother, but she didn't want me there. And this is a long-standing story in which she prefers my third sibling. They are always had an understanding between them how to manipulate money and checks. And this was also told to me by somebody who had put their husband there in their NGO, for recovery. So it has come to this point. After he died, I had no place to live, so extended member of my family gave me refuge. But we sort of aggravated the situation by saying things like we're married and all. Actually, there wasn't anything, and also he was never interested in me as a person. He just wanted to show my in-laws how to take care of me. That was the whole idea. There wasn't anything, any interest at all. But there was a certain amount of respect also, and a liking towards my nature, because he said she has a heart of gold, etc. Sometimes their children would come home, that's all. But they never, I lived a very lonely life. There was nobody to talk to. I had a TV, I used to put on Daystar, watch the Daystar the whole time. But I was isolated from everybody. And this was done by the members of the in-laws and his ex-wives, and all of them ganged up on me. And they felt like their relationship, I don't know whether he married somebody else, I have no idea, because being a Muslim, he could have married anybody 10 times. But I was not that person who could figure in that story. And the interest, of course, died down. One day he told me I need my house back. So, but in the meantime, a pastor had prayed over me, so he told me that why don't you just walk out. Somebody had sent me some dollars, a lady friend who knew me from the past. She was in Africa, so they gave few dollars. With that money, I had only 500 rupees. I left that residence, SN Banerjee Road, and I stayed in a village. And after that, I started my social work. And I did this training in RZIM. I started working with the local councillor. And as I was working, this point came out. There was a kind of negativity towards me doing social work. And this is because my mother, the guy who was working for my mother, his name is Sergeant George, his wife told me one day that we have our lawyers. So actually it seems that my youngest sibling took help from her lawyers, in which to kick me out of the Russell Street. They could come and stay with her husband, and they wanted to take over the NGO, but this guy will never allow any family member to be there. Ultimately, while I was doing social work, his brother-in-law, Amit Sinha, he started an NGO, and my mother told me it was basically to help those who are handicapped. But they took a lot of interest in what I was doing. And my third sibling is very friendly with him. and she knows everything about what my father left behind, because they were there, and his last, when he was breathing his last, they were there, and they promised to help me, etc. And it is after doing some research, I found that this heart attack can be induced herbally to people. Flowers, through flowers, hemlock particularly. Then there are other herbs, plants that are grown. When you make it in the food, you can kill somebody. And that was probably what was done to my father, because the attack he had was a muscle collapse, and also the muscle was like jelly. When they found him in the garden, when he fell on the face, and he was in that state where they had to suture his heart. That's what I was told. And then he was made to lie down and motionless. And they took out all his life, this thing. I was many miles away. I could feel like a spaceship shutting down. And there's nothing I could do. Nobody could do anything. They particularly did that to him. He was not allowed to live. He was told, "Are you ready to go?" And poor man, he had no choice. He said, "Okay." And so they actually took out his, he didn't allow him to live. I want to say that, when we are doing ministry work, some people don't like you serving God. And there are people who are very, very wicked. They sit there, they don't talk, they don't say anything, but they have this whole system of network of people who are under them who do their bidding. And this person is like that. And his wife and his brother-in-law. And they started the NGO, they were ripping me off from the net. Prana International, that is the name of the NGO. And in the meantime, I had a problem with my in-laws. We were actually having a patronage with Maharaj Karan Singh, and he was very favorable towards me because of the work I did with the Jammu Kashmir diaspora and my association with the Kashmiri people. And so he was very favorable. They didn't like that, and they made a big noise. Then I believe there was some kind of status that he had given, but they didn't say anything about it. So technically there was nothing. According to them, there was no status, there was nothing, and I was treated like dirt. And I made to sit on the road, and various accusations that I was still with Karim and that I am still his wife and the four corners of his heart, and all these kind of stories. The torturing is continued. And it came to this point where, from staying in Kajunagar to shifted to this, shifted to Picnic Garden. But in the meantime, I had done a lot of work. I had worked for Coalview, and we had done a project for recycled coal with several companies. I have sent that WhatsApp to you, so please take a note. We have complained to Ministry of Coal, and we said that this is the work we have done. I have forwarded the email to them, so you shouldn't have any trouble actually placing that complaint. And in the meantime, I had met Derek O'Brien in 2014. So this family, he sits in DI Club, and in the club itself, they went there. Jackie Pace, Wilson Andrews, the whole lot sat there, and whatever rubbish they wanted to say, they said. I don't care. It does not matter what I did. Nothing matters. The reality was I was doing something meaningful, and that was not taken into account. This kind of nitpicking that carried on. And if somebody didn't like me, it's okay. I can't keep up with people. I am who I am. I've learned to accept the person I am. But I went through a lot of mental abuse and kind of onslaught, like, the drugging of my food, and it was scary. The other part is I have this third sibling who is quite a frightening woman. And she induced my mother, forced my mother the first time. Oh, she has depression. I have never had depression, never. Even in this crisis where you feel really down, but I'm not depressed. You feel angry, but not depressed. Today I was really angry. I was angry at myself. I don't know what I was angry at the situation. I was angry at God. I was angry at myself. I was angry why I went through this situation. I could not understand that most people, like Rani Mukherjee, so many people, they work hard, they reach somewhere. And why am I in the same situation? So actually, a family who has been so detrimental, both in-laws, they have really, induced the harm. They knowing fully well that the kind of people we were facing and the kind of situation we were facing, we're trying to avoid going there. Now I have to go back and fight for my father's NGO because my mother is now old and she is failing to remember. This guy, this family is waiting to grab everything. And she made the mistake of from a trust, she made it into some society or something. We are made a complaint so many times in RTI, we complained in different places in which they have misappropriated. They also started also looting my NGO. So not only looting, also the mental abuse, the stories. And when I fought for my property, which is in 2019, I left the residence and I had to fight. I had no money. I had to sleep on the road because I had to fight for the house. And for that, she told me, you come to me, I will give you money. And when I went there, I took a taxi, so I don't have money for taxi because I couldn't walk. So she said, okay, I'll give you. And she gave the money in taxi. She stood there, and then I saw these men doing something, and they came outside and they pounced on me, and I screamed and screamed. It's not like I let people do things to me. I really protested. I couldn't run also. The gate was shut. I was forced into this bus, the driver and all. They are very wicked. Entire of our NGO, the drivers, all of them, they're all like gundas. Totally very wicked, very, very, they know all the inside stories, so they have been well schooled what to do to me, and also I was put away 3 months. I was forced to take medication, which actually twisted my nerves, my whole nerve structure. I couldn't walk. Also, I developed after some time, I couldn't do a lot of things. Couldn't talk also. I could not talk. Anybody asked me a question, it took some time to formulate, like to reply also. But my mind was alert because I have a very strong mind. I won't let anybody. I kept fighting back mentally. And today, after some time, my mother took me again and said that she can't do the walk, she can't go for morning walks. I could not walk. So he said, no. But they put me on something called Fostera, which is for, what's it called? This split personality. I don't have that. I don't have violent behavior, and neither do I have rages. Like that kind of, changes in personality. We don't have. I get upset. It's normal to get upset about something which is a relevant issue, but just out of nowhere, no. I don't pick up a knife and run to stab somebody or stab myself or anything like that. And we stayed calm. I was told I was trauma, things like that. That's not true. In between, I started my social work. She found out that it's a 5 crore project. She got very excited because they started looting me again, and they have looted me twice before, and which now we are in a very precarious situation in which they want to. They were forcing me to take a sofa, which 4 or 5 men were coming to my house and attacked me. And she said, she's talking very sweetly, so it's a dangerous thing when someone is being very kind, then you don't know what is in their mind. So she is controlled by this guy, and he did some witchcraft on her, so she is not able to see any of her children. She's like this daughter who somehow managed to extort things from my mother, and they were using my NGO money for their housing, for this, that, or right. Where did she get the money from? And so we got some jewelry. They didn't give it. The driver came to the door and he said, "Ye aapke liye nahi hai." They've been asking them, please give the things, please give. They're not cooperating, and also they have made some file on me in their office. I am the daughter, but they have tried to make me look like a basket case client. And so this is the one side of the story. The other side is the in-laws. And I feel like people who are not interested, who have no part in NGO, they have no business to be there. So when we were married also, they didn't look after me properly. I felt sick many times. They were not able to care for me. And neither of them provided for me or even bothered whether I was alive or dead. Even if we were fighting for the house, we begged for them, please let us please sleep on the step at night. I am on the road, just help me at least. No, you cannot stay here. You cannot. Absolute cruelty on their side. The Bible says even the kindest acts of the wicked are cruel. And so they didn't give anything until today. They don't bother हम लोग गलती किया तुम्हारे साथ की. We said so many lies to Maharaj Karan Singh. We have robbed you, we have stolen from you, we are sorry. Nothing like that. Absolutely not an iota of remorse. Nothing ever happened. It was perfectly all right to do what they did. And so that's why I made this video. Please do your part. I have been beaten by them many times. And they also tried sorcery on me, because that youngest daughter-in-law, youngest sister-in-law, my mother-in-law, one day came and asked me, "You all right?" Because they're consulting aside how to attack me and through sorcery. It's not something I made up. We had to take protection. I had a very, very godly Holy Spirit prophet who helped me how to avoid any kind of conflict. We avoided every kind of conflict. I avoided. I've been at the receiving end from both sides, and I need relief. I need legal relief. I need people to give my things. And in the midst of all these two stories is a politician called Derek O'Brien who knew everything from A to Z. From 2014, he's made our lives hell. And even if people said something wrong, you had my number. He could have called me. He could have informed me. He said, "You don't know. Where are you?" There's every reason to say the truth. There's no use blaming anybody. The only person here who has caused so much of pain and anguish to me, and I've never said harm this person at all. You are sitting there with everything. You're not given a single thing. And also my house, my car, my things is distributed to women. It's really very sad. So just make this short video. You write whatever you feel like. Please help me out here. Thank you. Vandana.